Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here. Wanted to do an update on KURV. So I don't get to talk about KURV a lot. So since it's a 3-day weekend, the market closes, it's closed on Monday. I figured to do a quick update on how the KURV funds are doing, where they stand, and what you hope for, in the coming month or so. So here's the KURV website. The KURV website, if you Google KURV, ETF, whatever, honestly, it's impossible to find. I don't know why, but maybe because it's still unpopular and it's not favorable in the search functionality. But in summary, the KURV website is kurvinvest.com. So in this, when you pull it up, this is what it looks like. Green and dark blue is kind of like their style here. And this website, it's pretty basic. This shows KURV yield premium strategy, Tesla ETF, shows the last distribution, the yield and 30-day yield, etc. Has a couple videos and so on and so forth. But I just wanted to make a video on each different fund and how they're doing, or at least where they stand. So TSLP is the Tesla fund. Tesla fund. It's the competitor to Tesla. So keep in mind, the strategy is similar to what you see in the Yield Max funds. The difference is they don't sell weekly calls. They sell monthly or 2-month out calls. So it's and they go much further out of the money. So in most cases, you're capturing less yield, but you're capturing more upside. And their expense ratio is the same, 0.99%. Most of you already know this, but I figured I'd just cover some things. Maybe I'll pull up the fund fact sheet. See if it says anything new. Obviously, they pay monthly. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, nothing to really talk about there. And then, okay, so they have a 19A, which shows, okay, they paid, return of capital, but we talked about that, and how that works. Sometimes it's a favorable thing when it comes to, tax time. So if we look here, they paid 94% of which payment? The December payment was return of capital. And then 6% was net investment income. Okay, good to know. Keep going. And that's pretty much it. Actually, no, the holdings. Yeah, here we go. So here's their holdings. They, it kind of looks a little different. It's kind of, if you ask me, it's easier to look at than the Yield Max, how they have the holdings set up. Like if you didn't want to pull up the CSV, this is how you could just do it. And it's pretty easy. So if you look, they have a Tesla 216, 290 call, right? So that's the weekly call. And then the next two, 419, 265, 45, 40, so this is the synthetic, okay? So they have a 265 synthetic. Then they have treasuries and more treasuries. One expires January, one expires March. Oh, another 3 treasuries. One expires April. And then cash money. So, it's very easy to look at this way, or you can click download holdings. And then this is what at least I'm familiar with when I look at the Yield Max holdings. And this is like when I do type in my data, this is kind of what I look at, right? So, it's easier to get an idea. So anyway, I took this information and I plugged it into my KURV spreadsheet to show you guys, where they're at in the latest positions. So let me see if I can get rid of that bottom thing. Okay. Shit. Sorry. All right. So if we pull here, so they still only have the 6 funds, which is fine. And I like that because they're focusing on that, which is good. So right now, TSLP, which is the Tesla fund, that has a synthetic strike of 265 and it expires April 19th. So it's 3 months away and it's 21.07% in the money. When I say in the money, the synthetic is 2 transactions. 1, it's a buy call. 2, it's a sell put. The buy call, once they spend money on that, they spend money on that, And then after that, it's not going to cost them a dime, right? It's not going to cost them any more money, but it could make them money. So when I say percent in the money, it's only relevant to the sell put, because we're not done with the sell put, right? There's, the part of the sell put the sell put of 265, they're committing to buying Tesla at 265 by 419. And right now, Tesla's price is below 265 by 21%. So they have to cover the gap from 265 to whatever the Tesla price is. So when I say in the money, in the hole, they're essentially in the hole. They got to cover this gap. But guess what? Their synthetic is not January 19th like YieldMax. Their synthetic is April 19th. So I'm not, as a KURV investor, which I'm not, I would not be too concerned about being 21% in the money when you have 3 months to go. Hopefully that made sense. But that's how I'm drawing out this presentation. Now, they use all of the synthetics to sell a call. And if you look, their call expires February 16th. And their call has a 290 strike. Now, that's 1 month out, and it's 32% out of the money. It's probably so far out of the money because Tesla's stock price has been dropping. I'm guessing when they opened this position, it was not that far out of the money. However, this means if Tesla actually goes up to 290 up to the February 16th date, they can capture all of that upside. So that's really, really good. But at the same time, what KURV can do, they can actually roll, close this position, close out the 290 strike and roll it into a lower strike to collect additional premium if they think Tesla will not go up. So, but that's up to them. And by the way, as you can see, the synthetic expiration and the call strike expiration are the same for all the funds. So I'm not going to really repeat that. Okay, AAPY is next. This is the Apple fund. They have a 198 synthetic strike. That's 6.5% in the money. Again, but they got 3 months. So that one's not too bad. The monthly call, 202 call strike. That's 8.65% out of the money. I think that's in a good position too. So the AAPY, pretty good. AMZP, that is the Amazon one. They have a synthetic strike of 157. That's 1.54% in the money, which, that's sitting that's really good, because if it goes in the negative, which you'll see the goop is, then guess what? They're going to make money on the buy call. And they're essentially the sell put will almost cost nothing, to close out. But again, all of this, just like YieldMax, is baked into the NAV already. So when I talk about how much they're going to make, how much they're going to, whatever, it's already in the NAV. But it's just a paper trade for now. So anyway, the 157 synthetic is 1.54% in the money, which is pretty good, especially considering they have 3 months. Because remember, the synthetic, you want them to not be in the money, okay? So you want that number to be negative. Now, the call strike in the green, 167, that's expiration date, 1 month out, 8% out of the money. Really good. I like it. All right, now Goop, which is Google, 144 strike. Again, 3 months out. And this one, like I said, is negative. So this one, as of right now, that they can make money on the buy call. So it could, because the Google price, which, by the way, the prices are all the way over here. I probably should have put it next to it, but here's the underlying price. So Google 144.24, for example, right, is just above the synthetic strike. So that's sitting pretty. Now the call strike expires 1 month out, 5.38% out of the money. That's good too, because do we think Google's going to gain 5% in a month? Maybe. If it does, we'll capture all of it. If it goes up 10% in a month, then unfortunately we'll capture 5% of that. So, it's okay. NFLP, that's Netflix, 500 synthetic strike. That's 1.59% in the money, again with 3 months. So that's a good position to be in. Their call strike is much higher, $545, and that's 10.74% out of the money. Really, really good spot to be in. MSFI is Microsoft. That's a synthetic strike of 385. They're in the negative, so negative 0.89% in the money, sitting really good. Their call strike, monthly call strike, $402, which is 3.48% out of the money. I believe that's much lower because I think Microsoft has been going up in recent time. They've been doing pretty good. So this, obviously you want that number a little higher if Microsoft's in a kind of a little bull run. So we'll see what happens. As a KURV investor, the overall sentiment, if you own all six of these, it's probably, you're probably very happy with how you're doing. Now let's see what they're based on the last payment, okay, so December is S. Let me just make sure I have the correct. Yes, I'm using S. Okay. So the current yields, let's cover the current yields of these. Sorry, I need to get rid of that bottom section. Oh my God. All right, so if you look at the current yield, actually I'll leave implied volatility. Current yield of TSLP is 31%, which is pretty damn good. The other ones are really low. The second best one is NFLP, and then the next best one is AMZP, and then GOOP, and then AAPY, and then last but not least, MSFY. So these yields, they are not comparable to YieldMax. However, they are very, very good. So in my opinion, the best of the bunch is probably TSLP, because when you trade, the struggle we see in the YieldMax fund, when you trade weekly calls on Tesla, you never know what you're going to get. And if they have to go so close to the money to get a high yield, they could get burnt, which has happened in the past. But with TSLP, they go like a month or two out. They can go way out of the money and still get a respectable yield because they're spending, there's more time value there. So that's the plus with these funds. It's a little, I'll say, less risky, but it's a little less yield. So pick your poison, right? And by the way, while I'm at it, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. That's clear, right? Just some schlep on YouTube. Please do your own research, and don't trust some of these people on YouTube. They're crazy. Anyway, let's get to it. So what else we got here? So I have all of the underlyings are currently at closer to a high than a low. So I wouldn't say any of these are a good starting position. Because I guess the underlyings have been doing good. So that's also, I'm sorry, wait, underlying value. I have two underlying values. Oh my God. N2, L2, N2, L2, current stock price. All right, so this is the ETF value. See, you always find stuff as you... Okay. So as far as ETF value, TSLP is, I guess, more towards the low. Their 52-week low is 24. Their current price is 25. Their 52-week high is 29. Okay. AAPY is also closer to the low, but the other four are doing pretty good. They're closer to the high. All right, and they're, we talked about their last distributions in another video, but they're all pretty much, paying the same, at least for the first 2 months. It's around the same range. So in January, we could probably expect more of the same, but who knows? Now, I added this little thing here, this little cool section. What does the 1-year chart look like? So TSLP, the 1-year chart overall looks like it ended up in the same spot it started. So that's okay. I'm okay with it being flat as long as I'm getting paid a respectable yield. AAPY looks like it ended up, much better from where it started. Again, I don't know. I don't have what these funds started at, and I don't think they've been around a year. So this should be inception chart. MZP, look at that. That's an amazing chart. GOOP, amazing chart. NFLP, amazing chart. MSFY, amazing chart. Wow. So this is like looking pretty good. I wonder, I'll have to add the launch price if I can get that, and I'll put that on here just, for context next time. If you guys know where that is, it's probably, actually, let me look myself. If you go to the website, yeah, it's not gonna have launch price. It may have it in one of the, no, it's not gonna have it in one of the documents either. I'll have to go to like a normal chart and just get the actual price, use a Robinhood or something. But okay, yeah. All right, so that's all I wanted to share. This is how they're, where they're at, which is pretty good in my opinion. All KURV funds are sitting pretty. If I go to the home website, there's nothing, nothing new. These are just the 6 funds. If you scroll down, I don't think there's any news of anything else, which is fine. They're focusing on what they're doing. So KURV is pretty simple and to the point. So if you're a KURV investor, congratulations, you're doing, rather well. These funds are pretty good. They are, they're doing pretty good. I mean, for the fact that TSLP, it's only, what is it at? It's at 25. It's not bad, considering the tanking that Tesla has been enduring. So, anyway, I just wanted to do a quick update on the KURV funds. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you did, please click the like. If you want me to do a KURV update either once a month or every 2 weeks, let me know and I will try. No promises. I just don't know how many people actually like KURV or want to invest in KURV, but I do like talking about KURV because I want to see how they compare with, yield max and how, what their strikes are and how much, in the money, out of the money, etc. So I hope this was useful for you KURV investors. Look at that. It went funky on me. So if it was, obviously, yeah, like I said, let me know and then we'll make more of these in the future. So, yeah, that's it. Like I said, if you enjoyed it, click like and let me know if you have any comments or concerns down below. All right. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Later.